Have you ever wanted to watch a horror movie where the scariest thing is how terrible the writing is? Well, I have a movie for you. It's called Jeepers Creepers Reborn, released 21 years after Victor Salva's original Jeepers Creepers. This movie is a letdown. We start off following this older couple who's just dilly dallying on down the road when out of nowhere they get harassed and road raged by some maniac in a pickup truck. Further down the road, they notice that he dumps what looks to be a body shaped bag into this tunnel contraption. And he gets back on the road and runs them off the road. And the boyfriend is basically like, we can't just act like this didn't happen. We're going to go back and see what he's dumping down there so that we can notify the police. They get there, and to their horror, they look down and see a bunch of bodies. Luckily, none of that matters though, because this was all just a dramatic reenactment on a podcast being watched by the real couple that we'll be following through this movie, Lane and Chase, who are on their way to a horror convention, which so happens to be creeper themed. Whoa! And if you don't know anything about the creeper, basically the legend goes that they show up every 23 years to kill for 23 days, only to disappear again. On their way to the convention, they decide to stop at a fortune teller who, using her fortune teller powers, can see that this girl is pregnant, and she decides that Lane would be a perfect sacrifice for the creep. At the convention, they come to this weapon throwing activity, and the man who runs the game explains that these are designed to look like the creeper's favorite hunting tools because it elongates the hunt. And we've, in a scene right before this one and all throughout the movie, realized that the creeper actually doesn't care about the hunt at all and actually couldn't care less about the hunt, because even these weapons that are his favorite, he uses a knife first and then uses those to finish it off. So it doesn't elongate anything really. We find out she's really good at this game though, so the guy invites them both to this random drawing for a chance to win 2 tickets to a creeper themed escape room. Creeper theme, creeper theme, creeper theme. After the cult lady from before ensures they win, they head down to the Barnabet family cemetery and they are told that they're going to be on an internet show and they're just ready to start their escape. And there's this scene where the creeper takes his pickup truck and then drives into this like internet power source thing, and he gets out of the car and walks away while it explodes like it's some 80s, like it's some 80s cop season finale. And I just thought that was so funny. So, yeah, anyways, that creates problems because now they can't do their internet show, and that frustrates Michael, who's the camera guy. So, he's looking for somebody to help him in this cemetery, and he finds this lady in a robe, and he follows her, and she leads him directly into the arms of the creeper, who kills him in an off screen kill, which is the second one for this whole movie. And yeah, it's not going to get any better. Lane and Chase separate themselves from this internet crew that they have going on to talk about their relationship issues, and during which Chase gets on one knee to propose, but as soon as Lane turns around, she gets swept up by the creeper and he flies away with her in his arms. So yeah, Chase regroups with the internet crew and trying to find Lane, they find this house and they eventually get in and get locked inside by the cult lady from before and some more of her friends that are all in robes. And immediately everyone starts blaming this hillbilly guy that was supposed to like lead the tour, I guess, to the escape room. And they're like, what are you doing? What is this game you're playing? We know, where's Lane? And he's like, you guys can't just blame me. He pulls out a gun and he shoots one in the air, which draws the attention of the creeper, who's over somewhere in his lair with Lane tied up. So Chase calms everyone down and is like, we have to work together if we're going to survive. And right then, the creeper comes and is like timidly jiggling the door handle. So they all run upstairs into the attic and find their friend Sam hanging, you know, deceased. And the creeper breaks in through the window. The hillbilly guy holds him at gunpoint, and the creeper does this like Matumbo thing, and you know he the guy still shoots, obviously, and the creeper does this Mariah Carey note and throws an axe, and then they all just run downstairs, and then the creeper takes his arm off and then eats Sam's arm, which helps him regrow his arm. Anyways, Lane is still tied up, but turns out there was just a knife sitting right next to her, so she just picks up the knife and cuts herself out and then just leaves. She just leaves. So somehow she makes it to this house that they're all in, and the creeper's nowhere to be found at this point. And she's like, "No, guys, like the creeper wants me because I'm pregnant." And they're like, "So why is he over here messing with us?" And she's like, so, anyways, they're just walking through the house all willy nilly. There's no sense of urgency or like real fear at all because the creeper is nowhere to be found. So they find this room with a phone in it. They call 911. One of them gets caught in a bear trap, but they pull him out pretty easy. Like they pull him out of the bear trap. So they go downstairs, and then Lane is basically having her like Disney Channel moment where she's like, you know, I want to make history. I want to kill the creeper tonight. The creeper shows up again and he kills this girl Carrie with an axe and takes her body away. And he does this weird thing throughout the movie where he just has to have music for the ambiance playing to do anything. Like it's his thing. He just has to turn it on. The song that was like iconic throughout this whole thing. He eats Carrie's brains and it's like, yum yum yum, so good. And that's just that. Now he's just back to business. So they decide to use Lane as bait to draw in the creeper, but first the hillbilly gets into a fight with him and breaks his record player, which clearly sets him off. So he goes downstairs and, the trap works. He starts chasing Lane to the front porch. He picks her up and is holding her by knife point on her belly, and she's been having these flashes of like cult stuff this whole time, and the cult leaders are like telling him to take the baby, it's eternal life or whatever. And meanwhile, Chase and the hillbilly are up on the roof shimmying this like roof decoration off to try to like stab him. And then Lane pulls out her little weapons that she got from earlier, the little throwing disc things, and stabs him in the ear. And then they shimmy the thing off, and then it stabs him and kills the creeper. The creeper's death sets off this super swarm of white crows that have been showing up through this movie. They're supposed to be like symbolic of the creeper's watchful eye or something like that, and it knocks the hillbilly off the roof, killing him. The swarm winds up like dying down, and Lane and her boyfriend make it back to one another. And the police show up, and it's insinuated that the creeper possessed Lane somehow and that he was reborn, wishfully thinking that any of us would want a second movie to this one. This was the worst horror movie I have ever seen. It wasn't scary, it was uninteresting, and there was no sense of urgency at any point. There's nothing like there's no redeeming quality. The acting is like they Disney XD'd the whole thing. Like it feels like you could put this on Disney Channel. Like that's what it feels like. Obviously you couldn't, but that's what it feels like. It fits very much into that kind of like. Overall, I would give this movie a 1. And I feel like I was going to be nice and give it a 2, but there's really nothing redeeming about this. There's no sense of danger from the creeper. They waste a lot of time with setting up for off-screen kills, and it's just really lazy. And the creeper is uninteresting and unthreatening. I'm sure any of you watching this could outsmart the creeper in this movie. This is very small child's play. So yeah, if you ever have to start beef with any of the horror icons, definitely choose the creeper because he's not all he's hyped up to be. Any one of you could easily bully this man and make it home before you can say where'd you get those peepers. I hope you enjoyed this quick synopsis and even quicker review. I'll be doing a series of these for spooky season, and see you at the next one. Bye.